welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA update. I'm going to be diving into XDC, so Xin-Fin tonight. I've been looking at a lot of alts recently from different segments of the market, and I just feel like there's so much opportunity in the market right now compared to looking at last year, guys. Okay, this time last year, XDC was up at 17 cents. Right now, you're about 80% down off of that, okay? And what I'm trying to say, I think, is that fear doesn't feel like opportunity, but it stares you in the face, and a lot of people miss out on these opportunities and end up, missing out on life-changing gains, really and truly. If you'd have bought down here back in 2021, you would have seen an upside of around about 500 to 600%. Okay, so what's to say that we're not bouncing off this low right now, holding these lows here, and we're looking to come up again and retest all-time highs. I think XDC is an amazing project. If you haven't heard about XDC, go and have a look about it online. Just go and do a little bit of research, and just have a little taster of what it's about. It's basically an ETH competitor in regards to scalability, cross-bridging, and interoperability and stuff like that. So do go and have a look at it. It is also on the list of that. I think it's in an it's going to be an ISO 222. I think it's going to be an ISO coin. So do watch out for that, because that's all about the banking system and Swift being potentially replaced or working alongside digital currency for mass financial payments and lots of other use cases, basically. So do go and have a look at I was about to say Algorand. Then Algorand's another ISO 222 coin that I'm keeping my eye on, but do go and have a bit of research into XDC. I know that the surface of it, I don't know too much detail. It's always good to do your own research, guys, and nothing that I say in this video is financial advice. So moving forward here and actually getting into the charts for XDC, what you can see, as I've said, okay, is that you're in this massive, here on the weekly, we topped out in August 2021, okay, so it's nearly been a year since we topped out at that all-time high. Now, you can see since then, we've been basically caught under this level of resistance, okay, and I think many projects, Algorand, I'm looking at loads of different projects, they're all in very, very similar, like, resistance lines. Okay, so potentially right now, what I think is happening here for XDC is that where we are in price, I think we're going to come up and retest this trend line again. And equally, what you're going to do if you do that is run into the resistance that we're currently stuck under. Okay, but then at the same time, you've got this ascending level of support. So it's basically getting into some sort of squeeze, a crunch time, really and truly, and it's going to be approaching this point for a fourth time now, this resistance line. But if you do see XDC do something like this, okay, as I said, you've got this ascending level of support. You've got a level of resistance. If you see XDC do something like this, break out here, okay, and hold that as support and get continuation, I think this is potentially your low, okay, because as I said, this resistance line right here, okay, has been resistance for over a year. We've been correcting for over a year. On top of that, we have had 5 Elliott wave pulses to the downside, okay, where you've had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, boom, correction complete. So it would seem, okay, but what I wanted to keep an eye out for, okay, so as I've said, just from that, if you do start to come out here, tackle above this trend line and back test this resistance and turn it into support, you are looking for continuation. The likes of XRP has done exactly that, okay, so XRP was coiling up in a very similar position. You had this level of resistance, you had an ascending level of support, it broke out, okay, it literally coiled up, higher lows, broke resistance, and it buffed, it went out. Okay, it just exploded, and right now it's coming back for retracement and looking to hold support on its previous resistance. So I'm hoping XDC does something very, very similar here. We need to see, for me, I think it's going to be crunch time. We need to see a close on the weekly above 0.036. Okay, for XDC. If we get the close above this price right here, okay, and we keep in this ascending level of support, for me, you're going to be in a technical target from there to there. If XDC does break out of this ascending triangle, you're looking to come up and retest this high here. Okay, you're looking to come up and retest it and retest other areas of resistance that we've been falling through since. Okay, so that could be a potential long op of around 57% if that comes into play. Now, does that tie up with any sort of targets? Let's have a look here. So from this low, we're retracing back up to this high. So that would take us up to the 786, and at which point then you're breaking above the 0618 and the 050 on this fib retracement back up to this high from this low. Okay, now that would be amazing. And if at that point, okay, if you did come up and meet your technical target, you want to come back in for a retracement, back down to support, and holding that for your continuation. Because what potentially could be happening here, if we do get a breakout above this, I'm expecting this ascending level of support to basically try and hold. Okay, and if we do reach this technical target here, let me just get the fib off quickly. If we do reach that technical target, what you'll be able to potentially see here is XDC coming in for a larger sort of like ascending triangle over a larger period of time. Okay, so you come down here, break out of this ascending triangle down here, okay, come up and meet that target, then fall back to support, okay, on the old resistance right here, back to support, and equally this trend line, this ascending trend line, okay, of support. At that point, get another breakout, and then you've got a large double bottom, okay, with an even larger target to the upside if you do break out of that and tackle this resistance. But again, it's a lot of, that's a lot of, I wouldn't say hopium, but it's too far to get along and start predicting things like that, I do think. But it's just a potential play. It's just a thought, a theory of thought. And yeah, basically, I don't think things are looking too bad at the moment. Okay, you can see we're caught on this ascending support. Okay, and we've got this descending resistance above us. Okay, so we need to see XDC come up to this point and break above it. Okay, break above, hold and back test of support on this previous resistance here, and look for the continuation. Okay, and that's basically it, guys. You can see here, look, you're sort of coiling up, trying to attempt to get this squeeze here, and something's going to give. You're either going to get rejected at this trend line and come down and lose these local lows, or you're going to break out, turn the trend line and previous resistance into support, and you're going to get gains to the upside. Okay, one thing I wanted to look at here on the largest scale of things, okay, is that since XDC has broke out of this resistance right here, okay, back in, where was this? This was December 2020. Since breaking out of this resistance, this multi-month resistance, I think that's from, where was this from? 10th of August to February 2021. So about 4 to 5 months, okay, it was under this resistance. It's broken out and it's not actually back tested that for support. So if you was to see this low being lost, I think a potential area to go long on would be down here and retesting this area of support. Now, what gives confluence to that? Okay, so I'm just going to put a trend line in where this support area is right here. Okay, so that's the area of support. If we do lose our June bottom, it's an area of support I'm looking at. Now, the reason why is because we had this sort of head and shoulders pattern here, okay, where you had this left shoulder, you had this head, okay, and then you had this potential right shoulder. Now, the technical target of the breakdown of that inverse head and shoulders is from the head of the head and shoulders to the neckline, okay. Now, that neckline, as you can see, near enough ties up perfectly back down on this swing, these areas of swing highs, which we haven't actually back tested as support. So is this an area that, you know, if we do see rejection here at this mark and come down and start to lose the June lows, okay, you could say this is some sort of descending triangle here, and you're getting ready just to break down, okay, and retest these lows that we had back in November. So that for me is the negative side. That's the bearish side, okay, where you literally we could see XDC even do something like this, where it coils up here, breaks out to this point of resistance, okay, runs back into resistance that we was holding as support throughout 2021, and then get a throwback into this pattern. And if we don't hold this ascending level of support, okay, and we lose this trend line, again, you're getting thrown back in, okay, and you're looking at more negative downside play here. So for me, okay, just to finish off on the video, this quick update, start to break this trend line right here, okay, and starting to close above 0.035, I think I said it was. You're looking good for continuation, and I do believe you're potentially going to come up and retest the May resistance points, okay. Or equally, if we start to get rejected here, okay, and we run into the resistance of this trend line, form a lower high and start to come down on ourselves, you could potentially say you are forming some sort of descending triangle, of which you could have a potential target of starting to retrace down, as I said, to these lows. Okay, and you'd be losing that June low. So it's all about support and resistance, okay? All about support and resistance. This is a resistance line. This is a resistance line. This is a support line, ascending support. And then you've also got an area of which, if you do come back down to the June lows, we could just be ranging. And this could be an accumulation zone. So we could do something like this for a while, guys, where we come up like this, come up here, come back down to this, you know, and just go sideways for a little while and let things cool off and accumulate. So that's basically it, guys. If we do break out of this trend line and close above this as well, okay, we can get a fib on and have a look where potentially we might be going to. So for me, if we do start to tackle this one fib, okay, and we do start to, you know, work our way up through these fibs, 1272, come back for support, you could be looking to pump up to the 0.049 area, which is from current price is about a 56% trade. Okay, and at which point you will be seeing yourself run back into, as I said, previous support that we held in 2021. Okay, and that would be another decision time of which XDC would make its mind up on what it wants to do. So, a lot being said, okay, those are my targets. That's just a quick update. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Key points to take away: break this trend line, close back on it as support. You're looking for continuation back up to previous resistance areas, okay, of which again you will come into contact and potentially see as resistance before coiling up, okay. But if that does occur, I think the lows are in for XDC, okay. But equally, if we don't, say for example, if we come up to this point here and get rejected and we form a lower high than this high, and you know you start to come down again and you're forming lower highs, basically depleting buying pressure, I think you're in a technical target to the downside and could be in some sort of descending triangle, of which you will be losing these June lows, and that's where it gets very negative. So for me, they're the key points to take away. Keep your eyes out on breaking 0.035, closing above that and this trend lines, okay, boom, off we go. Run into it as resistance, get rejected and start to lose these lows, boom, down you go. Okay, that's the key points to take away, guys. It's just a game of support and resistance. All I've got in is trend lines and sitting on the weekly time frame. Okay, it's literally a game of support and resistance. So I hope that was a good video. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, from Chart Nerd TA, peace out.